everyone. Welcome to Lesson 10. The heading for Lesson 10 is the results of the Bisho Massacre and the Goldstone Commission. There was a demand that a commission be appointed, and the commission called Goldstone Commission was appointed. Goldstone. The reason for the need for a commission was to check and be sure what causes this violence in South Africa. What were the findings? The commission reported that both Mandela and de Klerk were to blame for the violence. The very ringleaders, the very role players of the whole process were to blame. It also suggested that the two must sign a record of understanding. It means the commission saw that the two of them were not really in agreement, did not really, there were no good terms between the two. They were just forced by circumstances to cooperate. De Klerk responded accordingly by, for example, demoting several officials in the army and the police whom he saw that were hard-headed and were causing blunder in the whole process. He demoted them. Those were Magnus Malan, who was the Minister of Defense, and Adrian Flock, Minister of Law and Order. The Bisho Massacre resulted in F.W. de Klerk and Nelson Mandela entering a new phase of negotiation, a new phase where there was now commitment, real commitment. This was indeed a reason to celebrate for South Africans. How were the two, Mandela and de Klerk, to blame for this? Just as we have already mentioned now that de Klerk saw a need to demote Magnus Malan and Adrian Flock, de Klerk knew that there was a whole, there was a contribution, a negative contribution by these two ministers. So removing them, for example, was -1. Another reason, which was a sign of contribution, which was messing up things, is that there was a contribution by the NP government of a 250,000 rands given to the Inkatha Freedom Party so that the Inkatha Freedom Party must organize anti-ANC campaigns. Look at that. How can there be peace in that situation? Dirty tricks, for example, it can never be enough to state how these were causing violence. The dirty tricks. Dr. Death, Dr. Water Basin, a medical doctor. I remember we did refer to him in another video. Maybe I was just expatiating. A medical doctor who was employed to function against his duty, work to kill than to heal. We cannot forget the threats, continuing threats by the AWP leader, Terry Blanche. Terry Blanche even entered the World Trade Center while there were talks inside. He entered with his armored vehicle in a glassy house. He entered home while people were negotiating. Consequently, the ANC never felt comfortable to abandon its armed struggle. It continued to use it because they were seeing that they are being hit, so they were also hitting back. So it was a blame game sort. Now tie it up, guys. And remember, you have to change your tying up words. You cannot always say it is true indeed, it is true indeed. It's gonna bore. And then you cannot, just change your things to make it, your tying words, to make it more interesting. You can tie up and say it cannot be denied that the road to democracy was never an easy one. It was a stop-start journey.